Hello friends, this is Deepa Shah from Think Quotient. Today we are going to learn about dictionaries in Python. So dictionaries are used when you want to store data in key value pair. So if I want some key and the relevant to key, if I want to store, that is associative array we can say. If you want to have some key and relevant to key, that if you want to store some data, we can go for dictionary. Now an example over here is, we can say I have used a variable over here d1. d1 is equal to, we use curly brace over here to create a dictionary. We make use of curly braces. Okay, so if I want to create a dictionary, I'll write d1 is equal to, in curly brackets we specify first the key, then colon and the value over here. For this key, what is the value you have, comma, again the next key and again the value over here. So suppose I want to create a key, so I can create a key this way over here. So this is my dictionary, we can say dictionary d1 is equal to curly brackets, Jan is my key, and the value, when I say give for key Jan, give me the value, it will give me 31, Feb 28. So dictionary is a collection of key value pairs. So this is my first key value pair, this is my second key value pair. This way you can have n number of. So dictionary is basically used to, is a collection of key value pairs. Now in dictionary, this key which we have is of immutable, it should be of immutable type. Okay, so key must be of immutable type. Now which are immutable type is, we have is immutable type is int, then we have is float, then we have is string, then we have is bool, then we have is tuple, and also complex number. So all these are immutable in nature, so you can keep key of any of this type. And for value, there is no restriction, so you can have value as a list, or it could be nested dictionary, or here you can have a list also over here. So for value you can keep anything. Now these keys which we have over here, this should be unique over here. So in a dictionary, keys must be unique, there are no duplicates are allowed. Okay, so it should be unique, and dictionary is of mutable nature. So means if I have created a dictionary this way, and now if I want to add something more in dictionary, so I can say d1 in square bracket, if I write over here March, okay, this way. So this is my key I want to create, and for this key I want the value to be created is this way. So now if I check d1, you can see inside d1 we have March over here. So in a dictionary, if you want to create a new key value pair to the existing dictionary, if you want to add, what we do is, I will write the name of dictionary in square bracket. We are going to specify over here in double quotes with whatever is the type of key over here, it's string, so I'll use double quotes. And now if I write over here is April, so this is my key over here and this is the value over here. So this is the way we can create a dictionary. Okay, and now this dictionary, if you see, I have added 4 key value pairs over here. So after creating a dictionary, if you want, you can add a key value pair this way. Now if I create a duplicate key, suppose there is already Feb, and again if I write over here Feb, okay, Feb, this key is already present, and now here I specify the value as 29 suppose. So what will happen is, whenever you create this way a key value pair, it will check whether this key is already there in the dictionary or not. If it is already there, then it is going to replace the value over here 28 by 29. So if I hit over here d1, so you can see now Feb has over here the value is what, 29. So in dictionary there will always be unique keys. If you want to create a new key value pair, you can write d1 in square bracket, we can specify the key and what is the value relevant to that. If you again try to create a key value pair which is already there, then it will replace the old value with new value over here. Okay, now now can I have a nested thing inside dictionary? So if I say d1 and in square bracket, suppose I write over here in this dictionary, I specify a key as what? I specify suppose as seasons. I write over here season. Okay, so this is my key, and value I want to create a list over here this way. Rainy, suppose I write over here summer, then I write over here winter, so I can write anything over here, winter. So inside a dictionary we can have value as a list. It can be a tuple or it could be another dictionary also. So if I print over here, you can see this is my first key value pair, this is my second key value pair, this is my third key value pair, this is fourth and fifth key value pair. You can see this is my key, and value is nothing but a list over here. So value can be anything. It could be a list, it could be a dictionary, it could be a tuple, it could be anything. Now if I want to, the dictionary which I have created, okay, from that dictionary if I want to access any element, so we need to know the key over here. So we will say D1. In square bracket we need to specify the key over here. If I say Jan, okay, so you can see if I hit, you will get the value relevant to that. So D in square bracket, if we specify the key over here, so D and D1 in square bracket, if we now specify over here is, suppose I write Feb, so you will get the value relevant to Feb. So if you want to access the elements of dictionary, okay, so we need to know the key. So you pass the key in square bracket, the D1, give me what is the value relating to season. Okay, so it will return me the list over here. Now by mistake if I write a key which doesn't exist, okay, so if this is the thing I do, it will give me what? Key error. Key error means this key is not present, so it will give me error over here. So what we can do is, using in operator, first we can check. So we can make use of membership operator over here. So we can check over here June in, using this in operator, membership operator, we can check whether the given key exists in the dictionary or not. So if you can see June in D1, it's giving me false. But if I write over here Feb in D1, so it will give me true. So using in membership operator, first you can check over here this way, and then you can combine it with logical operator and then you can say D1 of June over here accordingly. So if the first condition evaluates to true, then only it will go and execute the second condition, otherwise it will give there and there itself false. So to get a value relevant to key, we use D, and in square bracket we specify over here. Okay. Now another way of getting the key is we can make use of the inbuilt functions in Python. So we have got inbuilt functions inside dictionary over here. So what are the functions we have? So if I just press over here is tab, so you can see we have many functions over here. So we'll do one by one. So now the first function which we'll do is get. Okay, so when we say D1 dot get, now the way we use square bracket to get the value, similarly we can also make use of the function called get. So get, and in square bracket we are going to specify over here in D1 dot get, and in get we will specify over here is the name of the key over here. So if I say Feb it will give me the value. So using square bracket over here like this, where we specify the key, this will also give you the relevant value. So to access the elements of your dictionary, we can use either this way, or we can use the method called get. So D1 dot get, and the key you specify over here. So the function is D1 dot get. You specify the key over here. If the key is there, you will get the relevant value. If the key is not there, it will give you nothing. So if I write over here June, it will give me nothing, no error and nothing over here. Why? Because by default the default value has been set over here to none. So now if I want key, if the key is present, I should get the value. If not, there should be a message on screen not present. So I can put over here comma, and in double quotes I can specify not present. So what will happen over here, if this key is there, it will give you the relevant value. If the key is not present, this is the value which it will return you back. So if I hit now, you can see it's giving me not present. But instead of June, if I write over here is Feb, so it will return me what value over here is 29, because I have stored Feb is equal value is 29. Instead of this, if you want, if the value is not present, I don't want to represent a string, I want to send back -1, 0 or anything. So if I write over here, suppose June, and if this key is not present, return 0 back. So you will see it will return me 0 back, means this is the default value. If the key is not present, what is the default value you want to send back? So this default value, whatever you send, set over here, that is the default value you will get when the key is not present. So two ways to access the dictionary elements is in D, in square bracket you can pass the key over here, whatever is the key over here, this way, or we can use which operator over here is get operator, this way. Okay, now the second thing which we have is very clear. We have a thing is called what? Clear. Now clear, the name itself will tell you it will clear the whole dictionary. So if I say d1 dot clear and then I check over here, it's a empty dictionary over here. Okay, so d1 dot clear is going to create an empty dictionary over here. Even when I write this way, this is what if I check type of D. Okay, so if I check type of, because set is also represented using curly brackets, so but by default if you see create this way, it is always treated as dictionary. For set we need to write empty set, we need to write the set command. So whenever you write this way, it is always treated as a empty dictionary over here. The next way of creating dictionaries, you can also create a dictionary from a list of tuples. Suppose I have a list this way, L1 is equal to, I have a list over here. Okay, this is a list. In this list I have, suppose this way, Jan, comma 31. Okay, so this is my tuple over here, first tuple, list of tuples I'm saying. Then next is, suppose I have over here is Feb, comma 29. Again the next tuple over here is March. Okay, and I write over here is colon, and something I write over here is 31. So if you see, this is my list of tuples. Now I can create a dictionary from this if I write d1 is equal to dict. So we have a command called dict. Okay, and in dict if you pass this list of tuples, this is now if you see it's a list of tuples, it is going to create a dictionary from this. Okay, so if you want to create a dictionary from list of tuples, this is my list of tuples. So this is my first, so what it has done is this, from this tuple, this first thing it has kept as key, and the second thing it has kept as what? Value. This is again a key, this is a value, this is again a key, this is a value. So you can create a dictionary using dict also. So if you have got some list of tuples, if you want to create a dictionary, we can make use of dict, and whatever is the list you pass over here, and a dictionary will be constructed from this list of tuples over here. So we can see over here. Now if we want to just find out the keys, so what we can write over here is d1 dot, we have got one method called keys. Okay, so if you see keys, it is returning you keys type, all the keys which we have in our dictionaries. Okay, and if you check type, it's dict keys it is returning you. Okay, so it is basically a list of all the keys which we have. So keys is the method in dictionary which is going to return you all the keys inside your dictionary. Similarly, if I have, we have similarly one more method called values. So what values will do is it will return you all the values which are present inside your dictionaries, 31, 29 and 31 over here. So basically d1 dot values will give you the values present in all, it will give you a list of values present in your dictionaries, and keys will give you only the keys. So keys is going to give you a list of keys, and values is going to give you only the value part over here. Now if I want both, then we also have one more method over here called d1 dot items. Okay, so items is going to give me a list, square bracket, you can see over here, square bracket, and in that we have a tuple. So d1 dot items is going to give me list of tuples. Okay, list of tuples, and in this tuples if you observe, the first is the key, list of tuples. So this is my first tuple over here, this is my second tuple over here. So the key is over here is becomes the first value over here in the tuple, and the value becomes the second. So 0 1 0 1 0 1, basically the index I'm talking about. So this is my first tuple in which I have my first key value pair, this is my second tuple, and this is my third tuple. So items is a method inside your dictionary which is going to give you list of all the key value pairs in form of what? Tuples. So it is returning you a list, and in that list we have tuples. So we have done till now is one method is clear, the next method we have done is get. Okay, so what all methods we are doing is we'll just write down get, then we have seen is clear, then we have seen is keys, Keys itself will give you all the keys. Values will give you all the values, list of values. Items will give you list of tuples, that is basically it gives you key value pairs in form of list of tuples. Now the next method which we can see is pop. Okay, so let's see what is pop. Now as pops, from the name we'll understand that pop is going to remove a key value pair from your dictionary. So pop, and you specify the key over here. Okay, so pop method will take a key in input and whatever is the key value pair. So pop method is going to delete the key value pair over here, but in return it is going to give you the value over here. So if I say over here, what I say over here is d1 dot pop, and I say pop, suppose Feb. So what I am telling over here is I want to remove the key February. So what pop method will do is it will remove the whole key value pair entry over here, but in return pop method is always going to return the value over here. So if I just take the okay, just let us see the method over here. So what it does, so you can see pop, we pass k over here, key, it will return, in return it is going to give you v. Remove specified key and return the corresponding value. If the key is not found, it will give you which error over here is key error over here. So pop function, if you specify over here the key as Feb, so it is going to pop the key value pair, but it is going to return you in the value corresponding to this key. And if I check my dictionary over here, the key value pair entry has been removed from here, that is Feb and 29. Okay, so pop method is going to delete the key value pair. Whatever key you specify, it is going to delete over here, but if the key is not present, then it is going to raise an error over here. So if I say over here by mistake May, which is not present, definitely it will give me what? Key error. So using in operator we can check whether the key is present using membership operator, and then accordingly we can delete over here, then so that will work out for us. So first now you can check over here May in, and what we can say over here is May in what? May in the dictionary, that is D1, and if so, if it's there, if this condition is true, then go and delete the key over here. Then we can say over here is D1 dot pop and the key over here. So the pop method, if the key is not present, it will give you error. So first let us check whether the key, you can use this in operator to check whether the key is present or not. If it is present, then it will delete it. Similarly, we also have a method called pop item. Okay, so like pop, only pop, we have one more function over here is called pop item. Now pop item will not take anything in input over here, it is always going to remove the last key value pair over here. So basically it is going to remove last key value pair entry, last key value pair, and that key value pair it is going to, and return it back, return also. So whichever it is removing, it will return you back. So if I just write over here on this, you can see it has given me in output this March 31, and if so, that is the last entry. If you see over here, that it is removing and returning also back that. So if you check over here, only one entry is removing. So pop item, if I just check also over here, what pop item is doing over here is, so pop item key value pair remove and return the same pair as a tuple. Okay, but if the key is not present, it is going to return what over here? Error. So pop item, if the dictionary is empty and you try to remove it, okay, so if the dictionary is empty and you try to say pop item, it is going to give you what over here is error. So if this dictionary, suppose I create a dictionary this way like that, I hit, and now if I say pop item, it is going to give me what? Key error. So that is of course, but always remember pop method is taking a key in input. So here you can delete any key over here, whereas pop item is always going to remove the last key value pair over here, okay, and return it back. So pop item is always going to remove the last, whereas pop, whichever key you specify, it is going to remove. Similarly, you can also remove the element using del keyword. So I'll just copy this over here. No, okay, I'll just copy this. Okay, and if I say d1 is equal to dict of L1, so I have constructed a dictionary over here. Now if I want to remove, so one method is I can use is pop. Another method I can pop and pass the key over there. The next way I can do is just write pop item. It is always going to remove the last entry over here. And now I can also use which method over here is del. Okay, del d1 and d1 square bracket. I am going to specify the key over here. So if I specify over here Jan, it is going to remove this key value pair, and you can see it has been removed. So another way of deleting is you can use del, that is delete from this dictionary. Which key I am specifying in square bracket over here is Jan. So this is also other way of removing the key value pair from your dictionary. Now if I want to add, I have already shown. If you want to add, we can definitely add over here. I write May is equal to 31. So if this key is not there, it is going to add it to the dictionary, and now you can see it is added over here. Similarly, we also have a method called update. Okay, now we have one more method called update. So let's check what update does is. Now suppose I have a second dictionary over here, D2, and in this dictionary I have over here is suppose June. Okay, in June suppose I write over here 30, and then we have over here is suppose November. Randomly I am just writing the months over here 30. Then we have over here is December, again 31, and suppose I have one more month over here. 1 minute, just complete this properly. Okay. Okay, and suppose assume there is one more month over here is what? March, and 31. So if you see my two dictionaries over here, so these are my okay, double quotes. So if you see these two dictionaries over here, these are my two dictionaries over here, D1 and D2. In D1 I have March, and D2 also I have March. Suppose this is 30 over here. Okay, so I have this, these are the two dictionaries. Now if I want to merge two, so if I write d1 dot update, okay, if I write d1 dot update, I'll just show you what update does. So update D from dictionary iterable E and F. See what it can take multiple over here. So if E is present and has a dot keys method, then first it is going. So what does this mean is over here is whenever you use updates method, okay, if the key is duplicate. So if I show you the output over here, okay, and if you check D1 over here, so what we can see is it has merged both the dictionary elements over here. So here we had June, November, December, but the thing which we can see over here is March was duplicate. Okay, here also we had March 31 and this also was March 30. So whenever you do update, first of all, the existing, it is not going to create a new, the existing D1 you have called upon will be updated. In that dictionary, this dictionary will be merged, and whenever it will do merging, if there is a key which is already present, now March was already there in this your first dictionary, so it has just replaced the old value over here with the new value which we have written over here. So here it was 30. So you can see now March has been set to 30. So whenever you use update command, update is going to merge the two dictionaries. But if there is already the key exists, then simply it is going to replace the old value with new value. So using update we can merge two dictionaries over here like this. Okay, now we also have a method over here is, if you see over here is, we have one more method over here is copy. We can see over here copy. Okay, now what copy does is, suppose I want to create a clone over here this way. So if I say d1 dot copy over here, okay, so if I check over here d2, this is my d2 and this is my d1. Okay, now you will say doing this and doing this, is this both same? No, it's not same. So if I say d3 is equal to d1, Okay, we are just assigning the reference. We are not creating a new dictionary. How we will prove this? Now if I say, so this is my D1 dictionary, if I show you, this is my D2 dictionary and this is my D3 dictionary. You can see I have created this. D3 is equal to D1. Now this is not a new dictionary, it's just an alias name for D1. So now if I say D1 dot, or we write over here, and if I say AUG, okay, and I set the days over here is 31. So if we hit this and if we check D1, so in D1 we have August, and in D3 also we have August over here, you can check. And if I show you D2, in D2 we don't have August over here. So copy method is going to create a new copy of your existing dictionary, altogether new elements and new it is going to allocate new memory. It is going to create a clone over here. Okay, so copy method is going to create a clone of your existing dictionary. Now if I ask you, if I want to iterate a for loop over dictionary, what are the different ways we can do it? Now if I write for D, so these are the functions we had in dictionary. Now if I write over here for a D in, we always require, see this is a element for each element in your iterable type. So now which is my iterable type I want to use is D2. So this is my iterable type. Just I print the value of D over here. Let's see what it is doing. Okay, so what we are trying to do over here is from this D2, I am just saying for D2, and you can take anything over here. Suppose I take K and I just write over here K also. So what is happening is, now let us run this. So whenever you use a for loop like this to iterate over a dictionary, so it is going to remove one by one keys over here. So if you see, it is removing one key. First is Feb, then is March, then is May, then is June, and November and December. So whenever you iterate a for loop over a dictionary, it is going to extract one key over here in this variable K. So K is storing the key over here and I'm printing key. If I want to get the relevant value, what I can do over here is, now we know, once we know the key, we can get the value using get also, or we can use square bracket notation over here, whichever you feel over here. Sorry, it's D2, my mistake. So if we execute this again, so you will see I am getting key value pair. So if I want to iterate over a dictionary, we can use for loop over here. So whenever we make use of for loop, so when I write for K in D2, it is removing one by one a keys over here in K. Now once the key, I have the key over here, what we can do is we can get the value using the dictionary name D2 and in square bracket pass the key over here. The other way to iterate is we can write for, I can specify over here K comma V in. Now I'm going to use over here the methods which we have already learned is items. So whenever I say items, what do we get over here is list of tuples. So and here the list of tuples, what I'm doing is I am unpacking over here. So if just I show you over here one thing. Okay, let us see what d2.items does over here. Okay, colon, I need to remove the colon. So d2.items is going to give me list of what tuples. So you can see Feb 29, this is my first tuple. And we have learned that if you assign a tuple, you can unpack a tuple. Okay, so unpacking basically means is assigning a tuple to two different variables. So it will extract one element from there. Same thing we are doing in for loop over here. So for, I can use any variables over here. So but I'm using K and V in. What I'll write over here is d2.items. Now when I use this method is going to return here what, a list of tuples. From that list of tuples, the first tuple, this first tuple will be unpacked, and this Feb will be assigned to K, and this 29 will be assigned to V, and now we can print it. So another way of doing iterating over your dictionary, you can make use of items over here. Okay, so d2.items will give you list of tuple, and then we can iterate the for loop over the tuples over here this way. So this is also the another way of doing it. Now if I ask you a question that if I have what, okay, before doing this, now some more things I would like to tell you is in Python interpreter we have already seen that there is a function called length. So if I want to find out the length of my dictionary, I can say length of d2 and it will give me 6 over here. So this is my length of d2, that is 6. Similarly, if I want to find max from my dictionary, so I can write max, and max, what I will say over here is max, and then I will say over here what, d2 Okay, let's see what it's giving in return. So it's giving me November. So basically max is finding from the keys which is the maximum alphabetically value over here. Okay, so actually wait, so which is, yeah, November is the max, because if you arrange alphabetically Feb, March, May, June, November and December, so November is n is the last value over here, so we got November. So maximum is giving you maximum from the keys. Similarly, minimum is also will give you minimum from the keys over here. So if you want to find out the maximum and minimum not from keys but from values, so what we can do is we can write max, we can pass the dictionary over here, and we have a thing over here called key. Okay, key. So we can specify one argument over here, the attribute over here is key. Okay, key is equal to, we have to specify the name of function according to which you want the logic to work out. So key is equal to the name of function. Now what I want is according to the value, so I will write over here is d2 dot get is the function according to which I want. So get is always going to return you what over here is value. And now if we see what is the value maximum over here is, 1 minute, is May. So it is giving you the maximum value, okay, of which month now it is giving you as over here is 31. Okay, so that's what it's doing over here. It's why it has given us May is because, see, by default it was doing according to keys it was doing. Now what I want is, I don't want it according to keys, I want it to work according to what values. So I want is it should give me value. So if you want, see, if you want both, I want to see the key value pair and the maximum month over here. So instead of passing d2, we can pass over here d dot items. Okay, this way. And when I pass items over here, this will be list of tuple. Then we can write over here is what, from the tuple. So I'll write over here is lambda. Okay, x colon. Then we can write over here x of 1. So if you want to see, if I want to see everything, means I want to see the data key along with value over here. So what we will do is, so it is showing me now the maximum according to the value property. So May is the month and the value over here is what, 31. So this is my basically a lambda function. Lambda is nothing but a small anonymous one-liner function over here. So we have written one function which has got no name over here. We will see this further, but the thing which I want to tell you is, by default maximum is going to find maximum according to the keys. If you want to tell that, don't search it according to keys, search it according to values. So what I have done over here is d2 dot items, and so d2 dot items will give you what, tell me, it will give me list of tuples, and from that for every tuple it is going to call this function over here which I have written in lambda, and from that tuple the second argument is my value over here, that is this 2930, and that it is returning back, and according to that it is finding max. See, similar to min max, we also have a function called sorted. Okay, sorted function built in Python interpreter. So if you tell it to sort this way, so what we'll see is it is just returning me the keys in sorted order, but I want to see along with keys values also. And so what we can do over here is, so if I say over here d2 dot items this way, okay, d2 dot items, now let me see what it does. So it has given me according to keys only. So if you see, December is first, then is F, then is J, then is March, then is MM twice, and then November over here. So it has shown me, it given me a list of what, tuples, because I am writing d2 dot items, so I am passing a list of tuples. So this list of tuples it has sorted over here. But if I want to sort it according to values, okay, so if I want to sort it according to values, then what we can do is we can write one lambda function over here, or we can write a define a function. So I'm just writing over here key is equal to, now we can write over here what, lambda, okay, x colon and x colon 1. So what we are doing over here is, for each item in this tuple list, so for every item in this list, what will happen over here is this function will be called over here, this function which we are writing. So now what will happen is, first December and 31, this together tuple will go in x, and from that x, this together is an x, and in a tuple we can have indexing. So this is my x of 0 December and this is my x of 1. So I am returning x of 1 over here, okay, and the sorting is taking according to the value over here. So if I hit this over here, so you can see 29 is first, it has done according to value, then is 30, then is again 30 over here, and then 30 over here, and then 31. So sorting has been done according to what values. So you have built-in functions mean, max, sorted. By default they are working on keys. If you want to work on values, we need to use this key over here, and to this we need to specify a function. So you can directly write on the spot here itself an enormous function, or you can predefine one function and accordingly you can work out. Okay, so length, max, mean, sorted, all these functions are built in Python interpreter. So you can accordingly make use of those functions on different all iterables like list. We can make use on dictionary also. And key is basically doing we are specifying over here we want sorting according to what, and if I want to have reverse sorting, so we'll specify over here reverse is equal to what, true. It's not string, it's a boolean value, true. And if I pass over here, you can see it has done in descending order. Now Feb has gone at the end over here, and it's doing it according to value. It's doing it according to value. Okay, so if I just remove this key and the whole thing over here, it will be according to what now? It will be according to your key. Okay, so if you see November has come in front now because that lambda thing which I had written previously, I have removed it. So if you write just d2 dot items, what will happen over here is we are passing to the sorted function. What we are passing list of tuples. From this list of tuples, it is taking the first tuple over here and it is doing sorting according to the first tuple. So it is doing sorting basically according to keys. If you see November, May, March, then J over here, then F, and then D over here. And reverse is equal to true means we are doing descending we are asking it to sort it in descending order. Now if I ask you one program over here, so there is one program already over here. So if we have over here, this is a program now, suppose. Okay, so this is the program. I'll just copy the question. So if this is my dictionary over here, okay, this is my dictionary over here. So this is my dictionary where we have 101 and these are apples and mangoes over here, and accordingly I need to just put it over here because this was a Word file over here. So I'll just create it again. Now if I ask you write a logic over here, what you want to do using logic is simply calculate the total number of this is a list of orders. Suppose this is a order number, and in that order what are the quantities order over here. So we have mango, cherry and apple, all fruits over here. So what we can see over here is this is my dictionary over here. In this dictionary we have key value pair. The key is nothing but over here the dictionary, inside dictionary we have, I'll just 1 minute, I'll just clear everything. So apple, a mango and cherry and this whole thing over. Okay, it's perfectly fine. So what is the question over here is, this is a dictionary dict1, or we can take it over here as D1, and it has got, this is my order number, assume, and this is the order placed in that order. This is my second order over here which has got, these are the items in that order. Now this is my third order over here, 103, and only apple he has ordered, and the dictionary is getting so if I want to find out what is the total ordered apple, how many apples have been ordered, how many mangoes total I want to count. That is apple, if you see 10, 15, 10, it is 35. So I want a finally to create a new dict like this, in which number of mangoes, apples and cherries I am going to calculate. So how to do it if I want this output? Okay, so let first finish up this, create this dictionary over here. So this is my dictionary over here. Now what we need to do is if this is a question, what we will do is for I put over here k comma v. Okay, I use and in d1 dot items, okay, empty close bracket over here and colon. So what this will give me, it will give me list of tuples of all key value pairs. From that tuple I am removing the first key value pair. So in K I will have 101, and in value I will have what over here is this thing over here. Now I need to create a new dictionary over here, so I'll just say D2 is equal to empty curly brackets over here. Now what we need to do is, again I need to iterate a for loop over here. So for K comma K1 comma V1, I can say over here in V dot items. Okay, now what is V dot items? So in this value we got this dictionary, whole dictionary over here. See, it is dictionary inside dictionary. So this is my main dictionary over here, and in this value we have got again another dictionary. So first D1 dot items is going to get me this, the whole thing over here. So in K I will have 101, in value I will have apple and mango both. Now from that apple and mango V dot items, what I am doing over here, if I don't know, because see now I can see it's apple mango, it could be chiku, it could be papaya, it could be grapes, it could be anything. So what we are doing is, this value which we have received in V, we are again moving a for loop on that. So V dot items, so what will happen over here is, so K1 will go in key, it will go apple, and V1 the quantity will go over here. Now what we can do over here is, so we need to check over here whether the data is there inside this or not. So what we can do over here is D2 dot get off what, D2 dot get off the key K1. If it's not there, put 0, and if it is there, then a +1 over here. So what will happen over here is, I made some mistake. It should be this way. D2 of K1 is equal to, okay, D2 dot K1 is equal to D2 of get K1 if it is present the existing value, otherwise 0. And if I do so, this should happen, I feel so. Yeah, no, it has created something wrong. Okay, my mistake over here. It should not be 1, it should be V1. Yeah, it should be value 1. Okay, so if we run this, and check over here, I was incrementing 1 by 1, it's worked. So what is the logic we have done over here is, see, we are first iterating over the main dictionary D1. So this is my whole dictionary over here. From this I am removing this first key value pair in K and V. Now V is again internally a dictionary over here. So again on that V, I am saying V dot items. So from this what is happening is, the key value pair is getting extracted in K1 and V1. So in K1 I have apple, and in V1 I have what over here is 10. Now what I am doing over here is, this D2 is a dictionary in which I want to get the whole quantity over here. So I am checking over here D2, and in square bracket I pass the key. So what is the key over here is, now K1 has got what, apple. So I am writing this way, see, D2, if it has the key apple, okay, if it has got the, already is there, suppose the key is there, then what we do is D2 dot get. Now get method we know, if I just pass K1 over here. So if already apple was there in this dictionary D2, okay, then it would have given, see, first time there it won't be there, so it will create new over here. So when first time it will come to check over here whether K1 is there, it is not, the key is not present. So I already told you, if the key is not present, if you pass some default value over here, that is the default value you will get in output. So here you will get 0. And 0 plus the current value, that is V1 10, will make it what, 10. So apple will be set to 10 over here. Similarly mango will be removed. Next time when again apple will come over here, so what will happen over here is D2 dot get the key value relevant to key apple. So apple's answer will be, now previous what was the value was set for apple was 10, and 10 plus current V1, that is, it will make it what, 15. So these are this is the way you can solve any, so there can be any example you can have of dictionary, you can have frequency or anything you can have. So if I want to solve any example, so this is the way we will do it in Python. Now similarly, if I tell you over here is, if I have got a list over here, okay, and not a list, or suppose I say over here string is there, and in this string if something is there over here is, suppose we say Python, and then we have over here is what, something more over here. So yeah, Python, or we can say some name over here is Amay, okay, and we say over here is Amar, okay. And now what I want to do is I want to find frequency of each alphabet over here. Now this, in this example, if I make use of dictionary, it would be very easy for me to do it. So what we can do is for I in str, that is the string I'm talking about, okay. Now what we'll do, so what is happening is when I iterate a for loop over here, so one alphabet is getting extracted from this string and it is coming in I. Now what I need to check is whether, so now directly what I'll do over here is the same thing I'm going to do. D2, see we have learned, see if I do this way D2 and I create a key, to create a inside dictionary a new key value pair, what we do is D2 in square bracket we pass the key over here, okay. So now my key will be what, the alphabet over here. So in I have the alphabet, so I'm writing I over here. Now if the key is not present, okay, so this is the first time I'm counting A, so it should be set to 1. If it is second time, it should increment. So how we can do it in one go is we can say D2 and in square bracket, or we can say dot get, okay, get me what, from this D2 dictionary, get me the key value relevant relating to key I, means whatever alphabet is there in I, get me the value of that alphabet. So if I say A, now in this dictionary A is not present, so what I do is, I know get method has one thing over, parameter over here is set default value. So if nothing, the key is not there, then what is the value you want to return is 0. And now you can do over here is what, +1. So what will happen over here is, if the key is not present, it will return you 0, and 0 plus 1 is 1, and that is the value that will be set over here. So if I see over here is D2, you can see over here the frequency of each alphabet it has counted over here, and also the space actually has been taken over here. So how many number of spaces are there? 1 space is over here and 1 space is over here. So accordingly it is working out. But basically understand how we can make use of dictionary and work out over here, okay. So this is dictionary basically. So what is dictionary, everyone? So dictionary is basically a collection of key value pairs where keys should be of immutable type. Value could be anything, it could be a list, it could be a tuple, it could be another dictionary also. Dictionary basically is of mutable nature. The keys have to be compulsory unique over here. Now some of the functions which we have inside dictionary is, we have copy, clear, keys, then we have values, then we have items, okay, we have already seen items over here, then we have copy, then we have update to merge to dictionaries. Similarly we also have get over here, okay. So there are many functions which we have seen, and we can implement the logics over here. So these are the two logics which I have shown you. You can implement this way many logics over here. So this is all about dictionary, everyone. So dictionary is basically a collection of key value pairs, okay. So hope you have understood the concept, okay, dictionary. So you can try out over here. Thanks a lot. Thank you.